here's why I can tell you that self-realization is a higher goal than becoming a billionaire or a multi-billionaire. If what I want is happiness, well then rather than going like this, why not just go straight? It's the freedom of the desire that brings happiness, not the object of the desire. You gave one example. Some people say the goal is to procreate as much as possible. Some people say the goal is to make as much money as possible. We say the highest goal is to recognize the true self. So let's just look at that. It's easier if you take the example of make a lot of money, have a lot of power. Okay, so just look at it. Let's say our highest goal is to make a lot of money. Okay. You make a lot of money. Then what? Well, then I can buy everything I want. Okay, great. Then you buy everything you want. Then what? Then I'm not desiring anything anymore. My wishes are all fulfilled. Great. Then your wishes are all fulfilled. You don't desire anything anymore. Then what? Well, then I'm happy. And here's the key. Wherever you start with what goals people have, if you follow them deeply through the fulfillment of that goal, what you come to is, then I am happy. Whether I want money, whether I want power, whether I want a big family, whether I want whatever it is that I hold as my personal goal. Ultimately, at the end, it is, then I will be happy. Which is important for us to recognize that therefore happiness is our highest goal. And by the way, spiritual people are no different. Highest goal, to serve as many people as possible. Why? Because it makes me happy to do it. Highest goal, to achieve the highest and deepest awareness of the truth of who I am. Why? Because then I stop suffering in illusion. Then I stop suffering in the ignorance of false identification. But recognize that whatever we hold as the goal, whether it's given to us by someone else, whether it's our goal, ultimately, if we're honest with ourselves, the underlying goal is, then I will be happy. And what that means is we need to look honestly. Don't buy it just because I say it. Don't buy it because anybody says it. Look at the moments in your life in which you've experienced the deepest, truest happiness. And if you're like everyone else I've spoken to, they're not moments in which you've bought something, earned something. They're actually moments in which you have connected in a deep way. Had a deep heart-opening experience with something that is bigger, more beyond yourself. Call it God, call it spirit, call it another being, call it a tree, whatever you call it. And now, of course, we've got lots of scientific evidence. I mean, now there's all kinds of studies on altruism showing how actually giving and serving makes us happier than getting and buying. But here's another really interesting piece of that. When you think that by fulfilling a goal or getting an object that you desire, you are happy, it's a false assumption. But you have to go deep. A lot of us, when we think about moments of happiness, it's like, oh yeah, when I got the A on that exam, or when I finally bought my first car, or when I, and so we do sometimes have that kind of material thing that arises. But if you take it deeper, you realize something very interesting. That happiness goes very quickly, and here's why it goes very quickly. It isn't actually happiness from the object of your desire. It is happiness because in that moment, you are free of the desire. It's the freedom of the desire that brings happiness, not the object of the desire. So let's say I've been wanting a new car, wanting to be able to buy a car. I finally get the car. I'm ecstatic. I falsely think it's the car that's made me happy, but it isn't, because I still have the car a year from now, and I'm no longer happy. Now I want a different one, or now I want a plane. What happened is very deep. In the moment that I got the car, and for a short period of time, I no longer was desiring. And it was the freedom of the desire that brought me happiness, not the object of it. I'm dreaming of pizza. I finally get pizza. I ate the pizza. It's not actually the pizza that gives us all of that much joy. It gives you a little bit of, firing of reward chemicals in the brain for the first couple of bites, and then the brain actually stops. The reward function stops. Our brains are programmed toward newness. It's only the first couple of bites that actually send fires of joy, whether it's pizza, whether it's chocolate, whatever it is. The joy beyond that is because for a few short moments, I am no longer desiring the pizza because it's in my hand. And this is where our spiritual tradition emphasizes, let go of your desires. Stop thinking that in the fulfillment of them, you're going to get happy. And start realizing it is in the freedom from them that you are happy. Yeah, you can spend your life achieving them over and over, one after the other, and you get these brief moments of windows of happiness. But then you're like that rat on the treadmill. The other way to do it is to say, what's the shortest distance between 2 points? Straight line. If what I want is happiness, well then rather than going like this, why not just go straight? I know that love makes me happy. I know that giving and sharing makes me happy. I know that connection makes me happy. Why go through this, what we would call a big chakra, in order to just get to that point? Because the happiness that you experience in the spiritual awareness is a happiness that has a much longer half-life than a piece of pizza or an ice cream cone or a new car or a promotion or a boat or whatever it may be. And that's where, on the purely kind of utilitarian standpoint, you could understand that as the highest goal. In the Sanatan Dharma tradition, the reason it's seen as the highest goal is because that awareness is what makes you no longer have to take another birth. We believe that the cycle of birth and death, the reincarnation, that we continue to take new bodies, have new stories, so that we can finally, ultimately, break free from illusion. And so the reason that breaking free of that illusion is seen as the Padam Art, the highest goal, is that then it is said you attain moksha, liberation, ultimate freedom. So that's the why.